Listen and think with me for just a moment. You see, there comes a point in a man's life where he stops asking, how do I become enough? And start asking, enough for who? That's the breaking point. It's not weakness. It's not bitterness. It's not collapse. It's clarity. Because a lot of men were raised to believe if they work hard enough, they provide enough, protected enough, they stay loyal, they stay patient enough, they stay quiet enough, then one day they would arrive at peace. One day they'd be respected. One day they'd be chosen. But what happens when the finish line keeps moving? What happens when a man is told to be strong, but never intimidating? Be vulnerable, but don't be weak. Be successful, but always available. You're told to lead, but don't offend. Told to provide, but never expect appreciation. To be disciplined, but somehow endlessly emotionally fluent. Socially polished, financially stable, spiritually centered, physically sharp, sexually confident, and psychologically healed all at one time, all at once. That's not a standard, that's a damn treadmill. You see, a lot of men are not breaking because they're incapable. They're breaking because they finally see the game for what it is. They see that some expectations are not built to refine them. They're built to exhaust them. So now the real question is not whether a man can carry pressure. We know men can carry pressure. Men have carried pressure for generations. The real question is that pressure worth it? Is that pressure worth carrying now? Because a man can endure pain. A man can endure sacrifice. He can endure loneliness. But what hollows him out is meaningless effort. What destroys him is giving everything to people, systems, jobs, standards that only move the goalposts and then call it growth. That's where the rage starts. Not loud, but quiet rage. The kind that makes a man go silent. The kind that makes him stop explaining. The kind that makes him detach. The kind that makes him say, I'm done auditioning for acceptance. I'm done performing. And a lot of people misunderstand that moment, don't they? They think a man pulling back means he's immature. He quit. Sometimes it means he finally understood the cost. He finally understands that if he builds himself only to be approved by the outside world, he'll die empty. Because the world is greedy. It will take the body he built, the money he earned, the discipline he forged, the restraint he practiced, the calm he maintained, and still ask, why aren't you more? More what? More convenient? More useful? More emotionally available to people who were never available to him? More compliant to standards that were never equally applied? No. A man has to decide where he stops negotiating with nonsense. That's why Choose Active matters. Because this brand, this mindset, this war cry is not about becoming impressive for other people. It's about becoming unshakable for yourself. It's about rebuilding a man from the inside out. Not so he can beg to be chosen, so he can stand tall whether he's chosen or not. Not so he can perform masculinity like some polished social media puppet, so he can actually live with force, discipline, peace, and truth. That means lifting when nobody claps, running when nobody posts about it, eating right when nobody's watching you, staying loyal to your word when there's no reward attached to it, continuing to think clearly in the world that is constantly trying to manipulate you emotionally. That's power. A man that knows who he is becomes dangerous to every system that survives by making him doubt himself. You see, some men are not tired because life is hard. They're tired because they spent so many years trying to become lovable by betraying themselves. Think about that for a minute. Trying to become lovable by betraying themselves. Shrinking their standards. Swallowing disrespect over and over again. Over-explaining their intentions. Over-providing where there's no gratitude. Over-functioning in places where reciprocity is dead. Trying to prove that they are good men to people who only notice men when they fail. That would break anybody. I don't care who you are. So the answer is not to become colder just for the sake of it. The answer is not hatred. The answer is not emotional paralysis, if you would. The answer is alignment. Getting your body right, getting your mind right, getting your spirit right, getting your standards right, getting your circle of people around you right, getting your mission right. And once you do that, you stop asking the world what kind of man you should be. You decide. That's the shift. That's the breaking point. The moment a man stops living for approval, it starts living by his own code. Now he trains because discipline is sacred to him. Now he walks away because his peace is sacred. Now he speaks less because truth is not begged for. Now he protects his energy because access to him is earned. It's not assumed. That man is not broken. That man is awake. So if you feel that pressure, if you feel that tension, if you feel that part of you is done carrying the fake expectations day in and day out, good. Let it burn. Burn that weak need for validation. Burn the fear of being misunderstood. Burn that need to be valued by people who don't value you. Burn that version of you that keeps asking for permission to become who you were meant to be. Then after you burn it, build it. Build that body that reflects self-respect. Build that mind that cannot be gaslit. Build habits that make excuses look pathetic. Build a life so rooted in your own purpose that chaos can't buy a room in your soul. That's the message. You were not put here to become digestible. You were not put here to meet every shifting modern expectation. You were not put here to bleed yourself dry for applause that never comes. You were put here to become solid, to become clear, to become powerful, to become disciplined, to become dangerous in every righteous way possible. So choose efforts, choose standards, choose suffering with purpose over comfort with decay. Choose your mind over manipulation. Choose your mission over noise. And choose active.